Hi, I'm Courtney Eckerly here at Marketing Sherpa Summit 2016 in Las Vegas, and with me is Jeremy Mason, who is the Director of Demand Gen for SCI Solutions.
Hi,
Welcome.
Courtney. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, my first question is, in your session you talked about how you wanted to craft your emails in a way that they were immediately relevant for your customers. How did you go about that?
Well, one of the first steps in making it relevant is to make it personalized, and we put a lot of emphasis around personas and then working automation logic around those personas, and we got as specific as we possibly could there.
So how did you go about building out those personas?
I think building out the personas initially was a pretty standard textbook approach, but then we began to look into industry databases and our own database and look at not only what was the persona, we looked at the bifurcation between influencer and decision maker, and looked into our own closed won business to kind of look in reverse and figure out, okay, what is the perfect profile for a win?
And I think a big question that marketers ask themselves when it comes to data and segmenting is, how far do we go? So what advice would you give for that?
I think initially, you're not going to get the depth that you want. So you're not going to go so far that you're going to blow it out and get too granular initially in most instances. So I would say start out small with that initial bifurcation and go as far as you can, knowing that time is of the essence. And as you go along, you can get more detailed. When you're working with a marketing automation system and you have automated drips, you can pause the drip, and you need to be agile, so you need to stop and analyze at every cycle. So that would be my advice there. There's no limit to how granular you can get, but you're not going to get as granular as you can up front. So start simple, execute, use smaller lists so you don't burn through your entire list if something doesn't work, and go forward from there.
Okay, great. And what would you say is your overall takeaway from the results that you've seen?
My number one takeaway has been, and it's not the first time, intuition can oftentimes be contradicted by data. Don't go all the way in on intuition. Do small tests and then see if you're right. We discovered in several instances that we weren't right about what our primary executive personas preferred. They were actually sharing more influencer-focused content when we started from an unknown role database, if you will, so our nurturing database. As those executives nurtured up and self-identified as an executive, we realized that they had been consuming what we thought was influencer-targeted content.
Great, thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure.
And if you would like to see more content, please go to marketingsherpa.com.